Wowo kembali ke desa. Kali ini saya kedatangan seorang tamu, very very special guest, expatriate from Swiss. Welcome, Mr Istvan. Welcome to Wowo kembali ke desa studio.
Thank you very much, Pak Wowok, for inviting me. I'm not really so special, except that I'm a bule, and that makes me a special.
Pak Istvan is we call it bule. Actually, Pak Istvan is my neighbor, a village neighbor, just close to Desa Taman Suruh. Pak Istvan living in we call it Dukuh Desa Gelagah village, so very close to my Warung Kemarang here. Only 5 minutes. Yeah. As far as I know that Pak Istvan is from Swiss. And I know Pak Istvan's wife is Mrs. Reni. Who is a very popular YouTuber.
Yes.
Maybe someday I will invite Bu Reni to come to my studio, Pak Istvan. Okay, and Pak Istvan, as I know that his background is engineering, I think, similar just like me, electrical engineering. Pak Istvan is also my friend who bicycling, and very often Pak Istvan go to my warung and then go bicycling together, or also I with my wife and my grandchild go to Pak Istvan for swimming.
Yes.
Okay, that is that I know about Pak Istvan. Now, please, Pak Istvan, you can introduce yourself, so we know what is your background, what is your experience. So after that, we will talk about the living in Banyuwangi.
Yes. So it is true. I'm coming from Switzerland. I am Swiss, but before Switzerland, I had another life. I was born in Romania.
Oh, you born in Roma?
Yes, it was the Hungarian part of Romania called Transylvania. So I'm Hungarian origin, Hungarian speaking. So I lived there and studied there until I was 22 years old. So when I was 22, then I went to Switzerland. I escaped more or less from the communist dictatorship of Ceausescu. So I asked political refugee status in Switzerland. And then I started to study. Continued to study because my electronic engineering studies I started in Romania, and then I continued in Switzerland, in Lausanne. It's a very nice city. Lausanne, it's a city on the lake of Geneva, Lac Léman in French. So I finished there my studies of electrical engineering, and then. As I am more, and I was always a fan of aviation, I found a company who is working in the aviation business. So I started to work there in a city called Fribourg, and which is around 75 kilometers from Lausanne. And then I started my career of an engineer, working in development, program management, project management
in Swiss,
in Switzerland, and then for a year or two I went back to the engineering school. I had another projects there, and I went back again to my aerospace company, which was called Vibrometer. Yes, measuring vibrations. That's the origin. So and then after my how many, maybe 5 or a little bit more years spent in engineering, I transitioned into a more commercial role, business development, commercial, and then started the travel for me. I traveled a lot all over the world, France,
same company or
Germany,
different?
Same company. Traveled a lot to America, to Brazil, then started to travel to China.
To China.
And that was my first country in Asia.
Okay.
And
Still same company or
same company,
Same company. Okay.
same company, and that company then it was bought by another company, a British company, bigger one. So after the measurement of vibrations on the engine of the airplanes, I started to have expertise in other things like fire detection and the braking of the airplanes and many other subsystems of the airplanes. And the company sent me in China in 2010.
Yeah, the company has a branch in China.
Yeah, I was there, sent there to set up the sales office in Shanghai.
In Shanghai.
And then I went there with the whole family at that time, and from there I started to make holidays in Bali, and Philippines and Thailand, and I fell in love in Southeast Asia. And that time I didn't know what is Banyuwangi, where is it, but that came after. So I continued to work in China until 2016. Then the company transferred me to Singapore.
So you met Rani in China or in Singapore?
I met Rani in Macau when I was working in China.
In China.
I met her because of aerospace, because there was an air show in Zhuhai.
During air show.
Yeah, and Zhuhai is a kind of sister city of Macau, very close to. And I met her there, and more than 10 years ago. So, yeah.
So Mbak Reni is Mr Istvan wife. She is Banyuwangi. Banyuwangi
yes.
And met Mr Istvan in China during first meet is during air show.
And she lived in Hong Kong, so we met a lot in Hong Kong. I traveled to Hong Kong a lot, and then in
Macau in Hong Kong is not far.
It's not very far, actually, not very far. But
you
then
can go by train.
Yeah, you can. And then we by bridge. Now there is a bridge from Hong Kong to Zhuhai and Macau, a very new big bridge. So we lived my last years in China, in Shanghai. We lived together with Reni, and then in Singapore we also lived together. And in 2018.
In Singapore, also the same company.
Same company, yeah. So it was always same company, and the same company gave me a gift for my 59th or 60th birthday, saying that I can retire if I want earlier, and I was very happy to do that.
So Mr. Istvan is early retired actually.
Kind of early retired, semi-retired, because I'm still using my brain for a few things, not just the swimming pool and the Szabo.
So the important thing is during the retired, after early retired, Pak Istvan, just like me, I'm retired from oil and gas company, and I choose Banyuwangi to stay after the retirement. Now after this we will talk about why do you choose Banyuwangi? Just relax. You can enjoy the coffee.
No, coffee. I take it after the Banyuwangi. I arrived to Banyuwangi and choose. I mean, the short answer is because of Reni, because of my wife. But that's very short, too short. So behind that there is a whole story, because I knew, and we decided, Reni, okay, we will stay around. Well, where? Maybe Bali, maybe Malaysia. We visited. No, not necessarily the big cities. But then we decided that Reni has family here, so I said, okay, why not to go to Banyuwangi finally? Because go to holiday to Bali, but during my normal life, my retirement, I am not on holiday. I don't want to be with holiday people all the time. So I said, let's go, give a try to Banyuwangi. And we came here many times, checked a little bit by land, and then started to have a plan to build our house that you have seen the picture there.
Okay, this is I know this is a couture.
Yes.
This is a couture and onde-onde, very special from Warung Kemarang. I know this is your favorite.
I know both. I like both of them.
This is your favorite.
So, and that also.
Pisang goreng. Okay, later you can try. This is very nice. Onde-onde. Okay, Mr. Istvan. Before we talk about why, I want also tell something about my decision. I myself last year retired from Jakarta. My last assignment was in Jakarta. Then at that time I have 3 options. First is Bandung, second is Malang, and third is Banyuwangi. And then at that time we have to decide which city I can live during the retired. And now I'm choosing Banyuwangi. Maybe similar decision why we choose Banyuwangi. Okay, let's Pak Istvan continue. Why choosing Banyuwangi as a city for living?
Yeah. So as Rennie lives very close to, he lives maybe in kilometer is very close. With the car sometimes is a little bit longer in Tegal from here.
From here to Rennie house.
Yeah, to where she is really, where she was born.
Tegal Limo.
That's the village.
Originally from
but
Tegal Limo.
But it's Banyuwangi is also like home for her. So it was. We have the family very close here. So I said, okay, finally. The climate is very good. We have the mountains. We have the sea. Because I'm more a mountain man than a sea man. I couldn't live my life on a beach and flat. All the cities where I born in Romania, Lausanne, where I lived a lot, there was hills, ups and down. It's like here, where we live here.
But you miss snow. You miss snow.
Snow. If there is anything I miss from Switzerland is the snow and sometimes the cheese. But that's okay, no problem. I can go back skiing sometimes every 2 years or whatever when we want. So Banyuwangi, basically, when it became sure, I said, it's a nice place. Really, climate is much better. Not like Singapore, for example, is very, very humid and warm. Always 32. During night is 29 degrees. So here we have in the hills where I live. A relatively cool temperature in the
27,
evening.
About 27.
27, and during the night can be 22, even cold. I start to be cold at 22. So these were the reasons, Rennie, the family, and the good environment, actually, that we have here.
One of my reason to live in Banyuwangi is not expensive. Living cost here is not expensive compared to Jakarta and Surabaya. Living cost.
I didn't know at that time the living cost in the other places except Bali, because I was looking to lands and very expensive, and here also the construction price, the land price, everything was just not comparable even to Bali. So
Bali is very expensive.
The living costs, as you said, are very, very reasonable, and it's a very, it's important for kind of retired people. It's good.
And from Mr. Istvan windows, I can see Bali.
Oh yeah, that's yes. When I talk with some colleagues in Switzerland still, and I say, it's a good place. Even working is a good place. You open, you have a nice environment, nice view.
Yeah.
I always like the nice
very
views.
nice view.
So
From Mr. Istvan office, I open the windows. We can see Bali directly there. And how about people? How about people here?
It's most of the people I know, it's through Rennie and people who are living in the village. Very friendly people. I was very, very friendly, and of course I have this language barrier that I do not speak Bahasa Indonesia. I understand a few words, sedikit, but they teach me words, they teach me this and that, and really very, very kind people. And I was very, very surprised, because in those big cities in Switzerland or Singapore, where people are, it's not so. I mean, if you know people, you can get some good friends, but otherwise it's more, people are more colder, it's
more colder.
Agree. Yeah, here is, I get really nice friends, and I really appreciate those the guys there.
Do you remember when we met first time?
Oh yeah, that was also there are many. The Osing community here, they have a lot of celebrations, and they are really very strong to keep their culture, music, food, dancing, and it was one of those gatherings for dancing that I met Pak Wok. So generally I just listened there, and I said, someone who speak English, very good English, says, and also engineers, so we became, and we are neighbors. We became friends after that.
I met Pak Istvan the first time during the community of Osing conduct the ceremonial there, and I found there is a expatriate to see the traditional culture celebration there. And then after, I think at that time I just give a speech to the audience of the community of Osing, Kopat. We call it Kopat, Komunitas Osing Pelestari Adat. So after the speech, I'm looking for you because you are very strange at the time. Ada orang bule, there is a bule attending the ceremonial. Then I stop by with you and then introduce you, and then you, Rennie, where are you? You are looking for Rennie at that time. You are very just wonder. See, he can speak English, something like that. And then you invite me to your house. Okay, now Pak Istvan has become my neighbor and my friend. That's why here now we are talking about why do you live? Why do you choose Banyuwangi as your living?
Yeah, and the what is after, because of course you come here, you do not know everything. After you can you see that the city itself is really developing very nicely in the
Banyuwangi.
Oh yes, even the almost 4 years that I live here, they are, I mean, the roads are getting better. They are really getting better. There are new restaurants, new hotels. So we can see that there is a willingness of the management of the city to bring more tourists here.
And so you have been 3 years here.
It is already almost getting 4. 2000 when it was 2019. 2014 March I arrived. That's almost 4 years.
Before
Yeah.
COVID, I think.
Yeah, almost 4 years.
Yeah. So already 4 years, Mr. Istvan living in Dukuh,
Duku.
Desa Glagah.
No. In that there only since 2 year and a half. The first year we lived in Gardenia.
Okay. Before in Dukuh, you live in
Before,
Gardenia.
we rented a house in Gardenia, and also to wait for the waiting and watching the construction, the house construction. So that was Gardenia. Was my first, let's say, first address in Banyuwangi.
What do you think about the tolerant of people here in Banyuwangi compared to other cities?
For the moment, I mean, the people I know, and I'm in interaction, it's a very, very tolerant place. Yeah. It's a very, very open-minded people. We can talk about everything. It's no, I don't see any extremist people here, and many time I say to my friends back in Switzerland, because they say, Indonesia is the biggest Muslim population in the world. I said yes, but said this is at least the people I know and around. It's not political Muslim. It's more religious and more Javanese. Javanese culture is impacting, is almost as strong as the religion part in it. So that is what I discovered here, and that is it's a good. That's my opinion. I mean, surely people you can find many other people everywhere, but the majority is very tolerant. I think. Yeah.
And also, I saw the show in Mbak Reni's YouTube. You conduct the traditional culture and art there, and people surrounding come to your house.
Yes. Yeah, that was for just the Christmas, after the Christmas day.
The Christmas,
she made one day for the village children, and another day for bringing together her village, the family from her village, and the Duku village with the music and dance. So we had a very good day there. Pak
Istvan very often invite neighbor to come to his house, and open. Pak Istvan is open, not like
also open. Always open.
If someone knock the door, Pak Istvan open.
Of
the
course.
Yeah.
It is sure.
Okay, so how about the security? About security, Jaros?
It's very safe, I think. I think Banyuwangi is also safe. I mean, maybe in the city you may have more cases that someone broke up a house or whatever, but I don't think so. It's a safe city.
Very safe.
In this respect, is no danger, and we never had any problem. However, we have a security for night to take care, because you just never know what can happen. Is better to have someone there, because it's. But I think it's a safe city, Banyuwangi, globally.
In my restaurant also in Warung Komaran, there is no fence. People can enter, but only just. One security or watchman to watch if there is something.
I think generally, I mean, Indonesia and some other Asian and Southeast Asian part, like, I mean, China is very safe. I mean, Shanghai, you can walk at 3 o'clock in the morning. You have
zero crime,
nothing, no problem. And I think Indonesian cities they are most safe. Except some places. In every city you find place not to go, but generally I think it's very, very safe.
Banyuwangi generally is safe.
Banyuwangi is very safe.
Okay,
that is sure.
How about last but not least, how about safety? Safety in Banyuwangi. Safety
about
on the road.
On the road. Yeah, it's okay. The biggest danger is that you have to take care that motorbike maybe hit you.
Crazy
Otherwise,
motorbike still there.
yeah, the motorbikes are there, but otherwise it's no. It's I never had any I never had any feeling of insecurity in Banyuwangi.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the street, even on if I am in the forest or in the jungle during night, I am more afraid of an animal than anybody else, so than anything else. So it's no, I think it's very safe, really.
Yeah. So that is the reason why Pak Istvan living here in Banyuwangi.
Yeah.
You know, Banyuwangi is very safe. Banyuwangi is a very tolerant, nice people. Good weather, not expensive also,
Exactly.
not
And
crowded.
And I have my family. I
Yeah.
have my family, of course. Now I have a big family in Indonesia now.
Yeah. Do you also invite your family from Swiss or your friend?
Since I live here, but unfortunately during the COVID it was difficult to travel. However, my son visited me during the COVID. He stayed 5 days in Jakarta in a quarantine, but after we visited and we came here, stayed to Bali. We like now. I would like my invite to see my daughter because she is working in China still, working there. It was problem. China was closed, so now probably she will hopefully she will be able to come. Some friends from Switzerland came here. My nephew came here. My sister. So I have and will continue to have many visitors in the near future. That is sure. That is sure. Yeah.
So Pak Istvan also invite family, friend to go to Banyuwangi.
And my family is the Indonesian family is Reni is really very nice, also very kind. I mean,
very kind.
Again, I speak with them through Reni because I don't understand, but I know the character of everybody. We have we are. I can tell you globally, I'm very happy to come here. And if we end up in another city, me and Reni, like imagine Bali or Malaysia or whatever, we are like strangers there. Here, we are not strangers.
How about the food in Banyuwangi?
But generally, I like the food in Indonesian food. I love. I mean,
I know you love cabe very much.
I like cabe. I like martaba. I like gado-gado. I like onje-onje. I like and nasi goreng, rendang. Yeah. I really have to be careful because my belly, Indonesian food makes me fat after.
Yeah, okay. That is why Pak Istvan choose Banyuwangi for a living. Last but not least, Pak Istvan, do you have any suggestion or input for government, for community, for friend, or for friend who want to live here in Banyuwangi? Maybe you can tell them.
Yeah, so I am not qualified and I wouldn't allow to give advice to the government or whatever, but I can
input for government.
Of course, when we live here and we like a place and we made this place like our place, like my place. I don't have any other house elsewhere, so this is my house, my way, my only home. Of course, when you see also some things which can be improved, like cleanness of rivers, the forests. Okay. You go and you see somewhere in the river, so the garbage throw and the plastic throw away a little bit everywhere. The beach, and I think it would be very easy and cheap decision to the authorities to make it clean. I mean, like in Switzerland, you are almost put in your blood that you don't throw away things, and then they are making for the children Saturdays or Sundays community where you go and you clean the dirty things before, and you clean the beach. And when you go for a trip, you go on the beach. When you finish your plastic or everything, you put in a plastic bag and you take home and you throw away at home somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are a lot of things to do, and I think it will be an important thing, because tourists, many tourists who come and they see eventually a dirty beach, they will never come back again.
Yeah,
So they need, you need this to do, and I think it will be done.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm very I'm optimistic about that.
So
And another thing which I think would be, it will be also going along with the development of Banyuwangi, is the probably improve in the health care, hospitals, and but that is, I think, a general problem not only for Banyuwangi but all Indonesia. And probably that will also is going in the right direction.
So you did your medical check-up to Jakarta or Bali?
I make
Not in Banyuwangi?
in Banyuwangi you don't have that let's say range of tests.
Oh, okay.
Even now I will do in
Bali or in Jakarta?
Bali in a Siloam hospital.
Okay.
And the Siloam hospital you have in Jakarta, in Jember, and I wanted to do in Jember.
Oh, okay.
But in Jember they don't have that level of test what they have, for example, in Denpasar, or they have in Jakarta. And this is something I read that today. I read in the Jakarta Post that in Bali they are building a Bali International Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And they want to really change the way of a lot of Indonesian people who go out, go to Singapore, and the newspaper was mentioning a number like incredibly, like $6 billion per year. What are Indonesian citizens spending in Singapore, Thailand, and Kuala Lumpur for health service? So I think that is the reason also they will build now 2023 November. I think it will be ready, and more and more Indonesians can go and have the very good service in Indonesia.
Yeah, hopefully in Banyuwangi. Hopefully in
Banyuwangi also.
There will be Siloam, I heard.
Yeah, those are things which are very important for retired people before taking a decision where they want to establish.
Yeah.
Because as you are getting older, you will have more and more problem with your health, whether we like or not, that will happen. So if you have a good health care in the environment where you live, it's just easier. Here we have to go to Bali or to Jakarta for something urgent. Most probably.
Yeah, at least from Banyuwangi to Jakarta only take 2 hours. So, every day there is a flight.
The flight, exactly. That's why I said to Rennie, if I have a serious problem, you put me in the airplane. It's
only 2 hours.
It's quicker than to go to Bali. So this is the input from Mr. Istvan. If expatriate like to live in Banyuwangi, the first one is the medical should be internationally very important, and secondly is education for people. For the garbage, so very important people to be educated with the and of course the what I say, there are always things which are different than in your country. But I am so much used to different cultures. For me, no problem. But we talk with other foreigners, other expatriates here. That of course there are things that you can improve. There are things eventually we don't like, but we don't like to. I don't like and I don't want to criticize, because finally, if you criticize on why I'm here, then go home. I say to other foreigners, I go, if
not
you don't
criticize, it is just input.
But input is okay. But some people criticize. I said, if you don't happy, go away. No problem. No one obliges you to live here.
This is not a criticize, but this is just input for the government and for people. To proceed the garbage. So our environment will be good, and also expatriate would like to stay here for living in Banyuwangi.
There is, I think, a future for that in Banyuwangi, because those people who like myself, I don't like to be in the crowd of Bali. I was very happy in a holiday is okay, but otherwise live there in a crowd of tourists. No, I don't want. I don't. It's much better here. But of course, you have to learn to adapt, because we like foreigner, we are guests here, and we have to respect the people here, because without that natural willingness of adaptation, you cannot live anywhere. So that's why also generally the few foreigners that I meet here and I live here, they are also very open, and many of them, they are married to Indonesian ladies, so they have a very strong link to Indonesia actually.
Okay, I think it is very good sharing from you, and I would like to say thank you very much Pak Istvan for coming to Wowo Kembali ke Desa Studio.
Thank you.
Send my regard to Mbak Reni Wong Deso.
Thank you. I will send, and I really appreciate, and thank you give me this opportunity to speak about where I live, and I hope next time I will be able to read your book in Bahasa, because that's a problem. My language skills, I need to speak Bahasa.
I will translate this book. I will translate this book and will talk to Gramedia to produce it in English. Sorry about that. Oke, dengan demikian selesai sudah komunikasi atau sharing saya dengan Mr. Istvan. Stay tune bersama Wowo Kembali ke Desa.